the 4 main ingredients: baking powder, lard, iodized salt, and flour. All right, how much of each? In a big container. This is just preparing the masa. We're not gonna make tortillas just yet.
About half
a bag?
Half a bag. This is a 5 pound.
It's about 2.5 pounds of flour.
Yeah.
However many cups that is.
Makes you about 2.5 pounds and make you about 24 tortillas.
All right.
So that's about
the flour.
2.5 pounds. And let me.
All right, salt.
Salt, 1 tablespoon.
1 tablespoon of salt.
More or less.
Okay.
And I don't measure, I just want to make
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a little too much.
Okay, so a little less than a tablespoon.
A little less than a tablespoon. Baking powder, the same, just a little. About 1 tablespoon.
About a tablespoon. Okay.
Maybe just a little more. Just a little, just a tiny.
1 1/3.
Yeah, 1 1/3. And lard.
And
you
lard.
can try using
the binding agent.
Yes.
What's the alternate for lard?
You can try using coconut oil or
Coconut butter?
and see no coconut oil and see if that works.
Uh-huh.
It might, but tortillas are a little hotter.
Virgin coconut oil, look at that.
Right.
But the tortillas are a little harder when you do that?
Right. So we always use lard.
Okay. How much?
And I know shortening, we shouldn't eat that much shortening, so I try not to make tortillas very often.
They're very rare, maybe once a year.
And then when we don't need that many, so you do need a lot of shortening.
So it's what, about half?
About, we'll say about 3/4 of a cup.
3/4 of a cup. All right.
I'm gonna use about that much.
Okay.
And you mix everything. You're gonna stop it here.
Okay. All right. So the lard is already dissolved in there, but it's still very powdery.
Now we're gonna add the water.
Okay. So how much water?
Well, like I said, I never measure, so I'm just gonna pour water and
ultimately it's the consistency that we're going for.
Right.
If it's too watery,
it has to be soft and cold water. Never use warm water. And of course it's drinking water.
Why cold, not warm?
Because if you put hot water in here, you will never be able to make the tortillas. They don't turn, no, very hard.
Oh.
Not being able, you can't stretch it. You can't stretch form them into tortillas.
It'll just become a brick.
Very hard to make. So I'll say about that much. I don't know how much water that was. About, I don't know. You take.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
1 cup at a time, maybe 4 cups. And I see. Make it soft, not too hard.
And this has still got to rest before you make the tortillas. You still got to rest it about an hour.
For about an hour, right.
So who learned to make these first, Trini or you?
I think it was him because he was older than me. And then after we got home from school, he would say, if you make the masa, I'll make the tortillas. So one will do one thing and then the other will do the other. But we made flour tortillas almost on a daily basis.
Everybody or just a couple of people?
The older ones.
Everybody else was a bratty kid.
But I think the whole family learned how to make them. Okay, now comes the workout. See, it's nice and sticky. And this is how you want it to be.
Not all completely smooth, a little bit sticky like that?
Well, here comes, I guess here comes the hard part.
Is this for you or for the masa?
No, I'm going to drink some water.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So this is why we have board. Need some flour for that board?
That is for from IKEA, and it's perfect because it's nice and big. So you're gonna continue to
So it's not all in the bowl.
knead this for about 15 minutes.
Just rolling it and mashing it.
Turn the slide on.
Yeah. That one?
Mm-hmm. So you nail it real good for about 15 minutes.
Pulling it, rolling it, pulling it. Make sure it's completely mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
And there's still flour and stuff in this bowl. So it's not like everything just comes out perfectly.
And if it gets too sticky, you add a little more flour to the board.
So keep your flour handy just in case.
Yeah. And you do this for about 15 minutes until it's very soft.
But that's the workout.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're not doing swimming aerobics today, here's your workout.
Okay, you can stop it now.
Okay. Ready?
So after about 15 minutes, this is what you end up with.
And pull a little bit out so they can see how sticky it is. So before it was a little, so that's about the texture.
It doesn't
Then we
stick
get
to your
close.
hands anymore.
Oh, okay. That's how you know?
That's how you know. And if it's not this up, then you continue to nail.
Just keep going and going.
Keep going and keep going until it's about this consistency.
Okay.
Now we're going to put a little flour, just a little flour here.
To keep it from sticking in the bowl.
Put your masa in there and let it rest for about no less than half an hour.
Okay. No less than half an hour, but maybe an hour, just to be good.
Right. Cover it real good and just let it rest for about half an hour before you make your tortillas. But those are the best.
Nice cast iron comal. And it's hot. Okay. Move over.
Okay, so this is the masa that we made earlier today.
Resting a couple hours now.
Mm-hmm. Now we're gonna make little balls. Put a little flour on your board.
Hey, she's making the pizza.
The pizza tortillas.
Just like a mama used to make. The pizza pie.
Tortillas.
The tortilla pie.
Okay.
All right.
So you make
And just a bit off, little flour
a
on
bunch of balls. It's easier when you make the little balls. Let them,
little flour on both sides.
little flour on both sides. And you start making the tortilla.
Flatten, flip, roll. Flatten, flip, and roll. And you're like rotating it 90 degrees each time, aren't you?
Right. Kind of making it as round as you can.
But how thick should it be?
It should be very thin. But then again, some people like them thicker. I like them thin. Like
But once they
Con la
cook up, they
tortilla.
get filled with air.
Right. And then you cook them.
And you don't put nothing on the pan, no oil,
No,
nothing.
no.
Otherwise they're going to crisp up or fry.
Mm-hmm.
When do you know it's ready to flip?
When you see those little bubbles, you're gonna see the little bubbles. And very, very important, you only flip them, you put them on, you're gonna flip it once, flip it a second time, and that's all.
That's it.
And that's it. If you flip it more than that, they get very hard.
Yeah, they'll get really crispy.
Yes. So see, now it's dry, you can see that. You see the little bubbles? I keep a little kitchen cloth ready, or you can press with a spatula. I like using.
Yeah.
See, now I flipped it, and
like
then
the
you
little
start
golden spots
pressing
on it.
around, press around. You can use a spatula if you want. I like using a kitchen cloth. Now watch, now. And you press, and you press. Make sure you get the ends nice and...
What are you pressing? Are you pressing air out?
not only air out, but thinning out the edges.
When do you know it's safe to flip over?
Well, you leave them there for about, what, a minute?
A minute.
A minute and a half, maybe? It's not ready to be flipped. It's too white still. So you leave them a little longer. And what do we do now with the first one?
We'd never eat it because it's the worst of the lot. We have
There
to eat the
you go.
next one.
We never eat the first one. Don't ask me why. I didn't set those rules.
We give that as a donation to Buddha and the birds or something.
We just don't eat the first one.
Them's the rules.